All right, good afternoon, class, and welcome to week number 10. That is right, week number 10 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. J.S.K. Austin. Messy hair, don't care, and I am glad to be with you this week as we discuss your Wikipedia assignment. Not your Wikipedia assignment, your LibGuide assignment. That is what we are going to be doing this week, and actually what I will be doing is there are a few things I'm going to say to make this video relevant to this iteration of the course, Spring 2023. However, I am also going to be adding in a video in the announcement, a longer video from Fall 2021. And the reason I'm doing this is because the Fall 21 class was, so I've been here since Fall 2018, and the Fall 2021 class was the class that performed, I think, the best on the LibGuide assignment. They seem more comfortable with it. And I think the reason why they seem more comfortable with it was because I finally was able to create a check-in video wherein after they viewed it, they were like, oh, okay, settle my nerves. This is what I need to do. This is what Dr. Jason is looking at, so forth and so on. And so I have actually added that check-in video to the announcement for check-in video, for the LibGuide video every semester since then, and it seems to have helped. And I have already received an email from one of the students in this class saying, Dr. Jace, I am very, very nervous about this assignment that's coming up. So I know that if I've received one email from somebody, I've probably got emails from other people, or I've got other people, I should say, who are maybe wanting to email or wanting to say, man, this assignment has made me nervous, but they have not done that. Let me settle your nerves a little bit. Now, the LibGuide assignment is a big assignment. It's a serious assignment, and one that is going to, it's one that's going to give you a little bit of frustration. However, for one thing, you are in school, and school is a place where you're going to be frustrated from time to time. I did something called dialogue back when I was in my master's program, and dialogue is probably even more stressful than as far as a Pathfinder than a LibGuide is. I am so glad that I'm not having to make you all use dialogue, and I'm hoping that North Carolina Central, where I got my degree, is no longer making people use dialogue, but I don't know. But having said that, yes, I do. Again, I want to use this check-in video to personalize it for this semester, of course, but then also between this check-in video and the other check-in video, if you are able to make time to view these, then it might settle your nerves. And then also there will be there'll be a tutorial from SpringShare that I'll be sharing as well. And so that may be helpful. So first of all, let's get into any state of the course updates that I have that, let's see here, any state of the course updates that we need to go over currently. I do believe that, I think that the only people who have not turned in their Wikipedia assignments are people who gave me a substantial reason as to why they were going to be late. And everybody else has turned theirs in. So I don't think I really need to say much about the Wikipedia assignments, except I will be grading them as I can. I'm going to try to knock them all out during spring break, which is next week, but I am not completely and entirely sure that I'm going to be able to get through them all in that amount of time, but I'm certainly going to try. As far as other assignments that may be coming due, let's see what we've got going on here. I am in the student view. So all of that has pretty much happened. Because I am mostly in instructor view, I don't really ever hardly do this here as far as clearing these out. So you do have when we come back from spring break, you are going to have discussion number 6 due. And discussion number 6 is the only discussion prompt that you're going to have in April. So again, keep on working on those semester-long projects. You've got one discussion prompt due in April, and you've got one due in May, and that's going to be it. So you don't have a lot left, but the reason why you don't have many discussion prompts left is so that you can concentrate on your semester-long project. And then, of course, this LibGuide is also no walk in the park if you've never done a LibGuide before, or I shouldn't say it's no walk in the park. That makes it sound like it's a miserable assignment. It's not a miserable assignment. A lot of students actually, once they realize or figure out what they are doing, they actually have fun with the LibGuide assignment. But until you actually figure out what you're doing, yes, there's going to be a little bit of frustration because there is a learning curve. However, I do want you to also be aware that the learning curve for the LibGuide it's probably less than, like, if any of you do Photoshop, if any of you do Publisher, if any of you do Excel, you know, those sorts of things that are common software applications. The LibGuide assignment has pretty much a lower, or LibGuides have a lower learning curve and those sorts of things. And then also there are some other things that I can mention, like if you do SPSS or SAS or anything like that, if you're doing any type of qualitative research software, again, LibGuides have a lower learning curve than those things do. Okay, so I do want you all to be encouraged that this is something that you can totally handle. I lied to you all. Okay, I'm sorry. So there's no discussion prompt in May. I must have moved that up. So usually I have one in April and one in May, but it looks like I have two in April, one at the beginning on April 3rd and one at the end on April 28th. And then the semester-long project. So after you, I guess, you know, I clearly moved it up, and maybe I moved it up so that you could spend that last week or so just concentrating on the semester-long project. So I apologize for that misinformation there, but make sure you just stay tuned to what's coming up, and you can always click in the assignments and discussion tabs to see what's coming up and when things are going to be due. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We were on the home stretch. We have 2 more assignments due between the LibGuide and the semester-long project. We've got 2 discussion board prompts due, and that's pretty between now and the end of the semester, and that is it. Everyone seems to be doing fine. I do not have, nothing's been brought to my attention to make me think that I need to take any time out to go over anything special at this time. So, with that said, I am going to go ahead and just say a few things about the LibGuide assignment. Again, I've already gotten a message from one of you explaining that you're kind of nervous and in a panic, and I'm sure that if I got that one message, other people are thinking it and may say it very, very soon. So first of all, let me go into the assignment prompt here. So if I go into that assignment prompt, move me up. LibGuide, there we go. All right, so my Pathfinder, again, was dialogue when I was at North Carolina Central as a library of science student. And trust me, you do want to be doing this as opposed to doing dialogue. Trust me on that. But one thing that I want to go ahead and say right off the bat is that I do have some language in here about selecting, whatever sort of topic. I'm actually very flexible with the topics you all choose. So you can work on pretty much anything as long as, and it can be something controversial, it can be something non-professional, it can be a music band that you like, it can be the place where you're from, it can be it can be beer. If you like beer, you can do a whole LibGuide on beer. It is all good. I actually, not on beer, but I've had somebody do their LibGuide on wine before, and that was totally fine. So you can do a wide variety of things. You can do your LibGuide on a type of a video game series that you like or whatever. I'm really not going to be picking on this because, again, I want you to enjoy yourself. So that's the first thing. Pick a topic that you're going to enjoy, and if you're not sure whether the topic is going to be acceptable, then you can email me and ask, or message me through Canvas and ask. And that is one of the things that the student I was mentioning earlier has done. And the reason why I do have some language in the prompt to just kind of protect myself so that if you do something totally inappropriate, I'm kind of protected, but I will give some leeway. And if you are not sure whether something is acceptable, again, just email me and ask. Most likely, if I do say that you can't do a particular topic, the reason is going to be because I don't think there's going to be enough source material for that topic. And so, yes, if you decide on something that's too narrow, then that might be shooting yourself in the foot, because again, you are going to want something that's broad enough that you're going to be able to find enough sources to, you'll see, and we'll show it in a second, but you'll see that the LibGuide is requiring you to have a certain amount of like one of each of a different type of source, and it's going to be several different types of sources, and you're going to need one of each of those different types. So if you pick up, like, let's say you decided to do your LibGuide on something like super specific, like, I don't know, like some obscure, what could it be? Let's say my daughter loves Gabby's Dollhouse. Let's say you decided to do your LibGuide on something like Gabby's Dollhouse, which is a children's TV show. But it's not a children's TV show that a lot has been written on, whereas like there are some like Barney where a lot of stuff has been written on, and so that could be something acceptable. Not a lot has been written on Gabby's Dollhouse, so if you did something that specific, or asked me if you could do something on Gabby's Dollhouse, I would probably say no, because we're not going to be able to find all the different required source types for that. So again, if you are not sure whether or not something will be acceptable, just email me and ask, and I will let you know. And then also, if you cannot find your source types for, like if you can't find a particular type of source type, again, just email me and we'll work through it, or message me and we'll work through it. I'll help you find something that would be acceptable, and we will go from there. And I do that every single semester for students. And that's a way for students to kind of see, oh, okay, well, we can kind of broaden our scope just a little bit and include this, and now it makes for a more complete LibGuide. So, yeah, you got that going on. Now, as far as how to do LibGuides, again, I am going to, the fall 2021 video that I'm going to post, it does have me doing like some really basic stuff to get you started. But then what you're probably going to want to do is, this is going to be a discovery process, just like a lot of things in librarianship are discovery processes. Figuring out how to actually do a LibGuide is going to be a discovery process, but you are more than welcome to Google best practices in LibGuides. You are more than welcome to Google for LibGuide tutorials, whether they be on YouTube or anywhere else. And then also I'm going to put a SpringShare tutorial in the announcement as well, so you'll have access to that. So what you do need to do, again, during the discovery process is kind of search out there and say, okay, well, I don't know how to do this, but maybe I can find a tutorial that will help me do this or that or the other. Okay, so that is something else to keep in mind. And again, that's going to be something you do throughout your librarianship career, is you are going to be going on and trying to find various information and for discovery and self-learning. You will be trained on some things as a librarian, but you will also be doing a lot of your library learning through self-training. Okay, so this guy shouldn't be there. Okay, now it's gone. So some other things that I do want to mention is another important thing to note is that you are actually allowed to have a librarian help you as well with your, because basically the way most people in professional practice learn how to do LibGuides is they actually are kind of what they do is they sit side by side with a librarian who knows how to do them, and that librarian kind of gives them pointers, walks through creation of a LibGuide with that librarian who's training, and allows that librarian to get hands-on experience and hands-on knowledge that way. So I will also say that it's not considered cheating. Like if you have access to a librarian, either a coworker or a librarian who is a local librarian that you have a good rapport with or anything like that, I will not consider it cheating if you get that librarian to help you with the assignment. But the key word there is help. If you, and what I mean by that is I would like for you in that case to be doing the work, but you can have that person kind of side by side with you, guiding you through, saying, do this, don't do that, so forth and so on. You cannot pass off somebody else's work and effort as your own, be they a librarian or anything else. So again, they can help you, but you will have to still do your own work. But for sure, if a coworker, and you can show your coworker this video too, or me saying this within the video, if you have a coworker who knows how to do LibGuides well and you think that they can help you actually put yours together, it is just fine to book an appointment with them and have them walk you through the process. That is perfectly fine. Other things, please do not password protect your LibGuides. This is something that I know somebody's going to do it every semester. Again, every semester somebody does it. When you password protect your LibGuides, I actually cannot see them. And so every semester I get into a grading groove, and somebody password protects your libguide, and then I can't see it, and then I've got to track them down and say, hey, your libguide, blah, 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 blah. I can't see it. Can you please unpassword protect it? And that throws me off, and usually a lot of times it takes them a day or two to get back to me and that sort of thing. So it holds up the grading process for everybody. Please do not password protect the libguide, at least until after you have received the grade. Now, after you've received the grade, if you want to password protect it, that's fine, but please don't do it right now. You will see, I know this question is going to come up because it comes up every semester, so I'm going to go ahead and address it now. If you are, when you get to the point where you are wishing to add a database, because you are going to have to include a database as one of your source types within the libguide, and when you get to that point, as far as adding a database, you the best thing to do is, instead of, and you're going to see this in that big fall 2021 video, so I'm not going to belabor the point. If you actually look at that video, you'll see this help in there. But basically, I'm going to say that what you're going to want to do is not use the add database feature. You're actually going to want to add a link, and then you're going to want to put in the hyperlink for the proxied hyperlink, by the way, for the libguide. For the database that you're adding. So that's how that's going to work. Okay. You can keep the way that you can submit the assignment if you want to, especially since a lot of people just want to put something in the submission portal so that they don't have this message hitting them saying that they've got an outstanding assignment. All of these libguides are going to be going into the folder Austin 2023, well, Austin Spring 2023. So I'm going to be able to access them from there anyway, unless you have password protected them. However, when it comes to actually putting something into the assignment submission portal, the best thing to do is actually to go ahead and take the link. If you want, you can just take the link to the libguide. You'll have a hyperlink. You'll see how to get to it. The hyperlink to your libguide, just copy and paste it in into the submission portal and submit it that way, and then Canvas will note that you have submitted an assignment, and I will also be able to just click that link and go into your libguide if I want to. So that is something that you can do in order to get rid of any annoying or disturbing message that you have not submitted a libguide. The rubric, just make sure, and again, I kind of go over the rubric in that check-in video that I'm talking about for fall 2021, but with the rubric, please just make sure you are aware of what's in the rubric. I know that it's a big rubric, but please be aware of what's in it, because this really is what I am grading on, and that includes, with these different source types here, oh, not in that one, that's just the number right here. With these different source types, make sure you're hitting every single one of these. And again, if you can't find a particular source type for your topic, what you may want to do is just go ahead and message me. Let me know that you need some help, and I will help you devise one. So this libguide prong here, in particular, this rubric prong, where you have to have at least one print or electronic dictionary, one encyclopedia, one directory, one index or full text database source, one geographic source, one biographical source, and one government information source. That is a lot going on, I understand that. But again, if you are not able to find one of those, just contact me and I can get pretty creative with these. So I will definitely be able to help you find one of those. Another thing that happens every single semester, even though the LibGuide tells you, the rubric here tells you not to do it, is you do have to create a video tutorial, and your video tutorial is supposed to be 3 minutes long or less. Now, I do have a bit of a grace period with that, probably about 15 seconds. So if you go up to 3:15, that is perfectly fine. But every semester I have somebody that hits me with like a 6-minute video, and I have to deduct points because it says right there in the rubric that you are supposed to keep it at 3 minutes long or lower. And then a few other things that I want to note. First of all, for those of you who are perfectionists, and this is a big deal, and this is probably why this assignment causes so much anxiety. For those of you who are perfectionists, please know that you're probably not going to get a perfect 25 on this assignment, and that is okay. The course is actually designed so that you can miss a few points. You can miss like 3 or 4 points even for a lot of you and still get an A in the class. So I want that to be very, very, very clear. So you do not have to worry about you don't have to worry about getting a perfect score on this in order to get an A or anything like that. And I will say that this is about learning. So it's actually designed, particular assignment is designed so that you probably are not going to get a perfect score. And that's okay. It's about you learning. You'll get penalized for what you didn't learn, but you're going to remember and retain those things, and you're going to do better on professional practice. And that sometimes just gets lost in professional schools anyway, is that you are still here to learn and grow. And so I'm not expecting the professional work out of you, but I am going to let you know what would have made it the professional level work, if that makes sense, okay? But yes, you're probably not going to get a perfect score, and that is okay. But if you're a perfectionist, please don't be one of these people that contacts me talking about, well, and I get these a lot. I got a 24 out of a 25 and blah, 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 blah. You're not going to be perfect, and that is okay. Don't be a perfectionist, okay? Don't try to be a perfectionist. Try to do the best you can. Try to be perfect. If this makes sense, try to be perfect without being a perfectionist. So try to do the best job you can, but try to do that without expecting yourself to be perfect, because you're not going to be perfect if this is your first time doing it. And again, my feedback is just going to make you better for professional practice. And even if you get a 22 or a 23 out of 25, there's still a very, very good chance that you're going to finish this class with an A. Most people do. There are some unstated expectations. I want that to be clear, and I'm sorry, but that's just the nature of the beast. So the LibGuide rubric does have in it what it's got in it. I don't know how else to say that. However, there are some unstated expectations that you still might get docked for within some of the rubric prongs here. Like, for instance, I do have a prong that requires that you be professional and well organized in appearance. So it's got professional in appearance and also well organized. So one unstated expectation that exists there, but if you Google and within the discovery process, like if you were to Google best practices in LibGuide making, one of the things that you're going to note when you do that is that, excuse me for a second. One of the things that you're going to note is that one of the best practices is to make sure that you're not having to scroll down a whole heck of a lot. That's also that's an abilities compliance issue, to not force people to have to scroll a whole lot. So if you find yourself creating a lot of content and putting a lot of content under one tab to the point where people are having to scroll a lot, then what you might want to do is create another tab and get some of that information into that other tab. So that's an unstated expectation. I guess it's not unstated now since I just said it, but there are going to be things that are just unstated expectations because I can't state everything. But as you go through your discovery process and see, okay, what makes a good LibGuide and what makes a bad LibGuide, you're going to get a good feel for that. All right. So keep that in mind. And then, well, actually, that's pretty much it. Yes. So those are the things that I did want to kind of add. And I do encourage you, thankfully, this semester, I'm able to do the LibGuide video before spring break, which is good. So spring break is next week. If you're really, really nervous, I know that I do encourage you, especially if you're not nervous, I do encourage you to go ahead and rest up within spring break if you can. If you don't have to do any work during spring break and you don't want to, then don't. But if you don't mind doing some work, I know some of you are probably going to be using spring break to catch up or work ahead anyway. But if you have some extra work that you want to go ahead or if you have some extra time in spring break, that's what I meant to say, and you want to use some of that time to actually use these videos, to view these videos, it's a perfect time to do it. And watching, I know that's 3 videos and well over 2 hours, but if you are really, really that unsure and you can make time within the next 2 weeks, because there won't be a check-in video next week because, again, it's going to be spring break. So there will be no check-in video next week. But if you want to use that time to, you can watch this video and the one from fall 2021, and you can watch the spring share tutorial. And if you make time to watch all 3 of those things, and I assure you, you're definitely going to have your nerves settled. So yes, if you want to make that time during spring break, you absolutely can. And you don't have to make it during spring break. If you, the week after spring break, even if you want to go ahead and get those videos in at that time and you have the time to do it, go for it. I'm just saying that some of you are going going to have more time during spring break. But that is pretty much it. Let me go ahead and leave it there so that you can begin your discovery process. I am Dr. Jace, and yes, completing a LibGuide is a race, and it is a race that you are going to win. I will see you later, but I will not see you next week because of spring break. Bye.